Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the Construct Your Life Rant. Austin Linney here. What I'm going to talk about today is kind of my why. I'm going to share my why with you in an inspiration just to kind of let you know more about me, but also just kind of maybe get clearer on your why. I've always had this ability to bring a great energy into the room, always kind of be able to lift up the room and come up with this great energy. And so when I started getting sober and I started doing these things, I decided that my impact, my why, was to lift up everybody around me. And so, that's a very tall why. It's a very, what I tell everybody is I can never be finished no matter how many people I help, because my why is to impact everybody and lift them up. And in essence, the reason that the why is so big, right, is to create the gap between I could be finished and I'm never going to be finished, right? Because I'm playing an infinite sum game. I'm playing a game where I can't win or lose. It's either I go out and do that every day or I don't. And so when you create these whys, you create this space of this stretch, this huge goal that's bigger than money, bigger than a house, bigger than a car, bigger than yourself. You allow space for you to dig down deep when you're not feeling it, when you don't want to work out, when you don't want to post that social media, when you just don't feel like it, because the why is bigger than me. And we have to spend some time getting clear on what we're after. And, a lot of people get into real estate for the money, right? That's what they see. They see the flash on Instagram and all this shit. And the truth is this business, it's an ass kicker. It is a long overtime game. Of course you can hit it big with some wholesales and some stuff like that. Of course you can. But ultimately at the end of the day, if you're wholesaling, you're still working for your dollar. And so when you create these visions and these whys and these big reasons that you do everything, then you're tapping into a different part of who you are that's greater than you. And by tapping into that source, by tapping into that magic of that ridiculous why, you're going to lift yourself up in moments when your back's up against the wall, when there's adversity, when you feel like you're not going to get to the other end of this, when you feel like you're not going to get to the mountaintop, because you're allowing yourself to get out of your own way, see something bigger than you. And it's one of those things where you can make all the money in the world. I've met many millionaires that are very unhappy, shitty marriage, family life's terrible, their health and shit. And so a lot of what I do every day with my coaching and who I help people is all of it's not quantifiable. It's not. Like, I'm not going, hey, here's a flip. I made a 20% return, IR, all this bullshit, cash flow, blah, 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 blah. And so it's hard for me to articulate sometimes what I bring to the table, but what we're looking to do is we're stripping away all the stories and all the fake BS and the triggers and the raw emotions of BS. Because we're trying to move you out of your own way, get you out of your own way. Because I was in my own way for 20 plus years. And so, it's by getting out of our own way, moving away the false narratives, and then tapping into a clear vision and creating a ridiculously, chart topping highest that you can. Why? Then you create space where you can pull yourself through any fire, any downturn, any economic downturn. Because what you're doing, right, when you're learning and you're getting in this personal development, your daily habits, is you're weaponizing yourself with the ability to operate in any environment. And when you can operate in any environment, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if your company lost money. It doesn't matter if you lost money on a real estate deal. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend leaves you, because your mindset is so locked in that it allows you to take on this ridiculous persona where you're like, okay, that's great. That happened. Outlook, not great, but we're going to dig in. We're going to get harder, and we're going to hit these bumps over and over again. And so I ask you, my homework for you as you leave this call is your why big enough? And let's be honest with ourselves. Look yourself in the actual mirror and say, is my why unquantifiable? So I'm never going to reach it. Is it not transactional at all? Is it more about life and impact? And if it's not, then you need to take a minute. You need to take a minute to sit down and investigate what you're doing, where you're headed, clear out the cobwebs, and get real with yourself. Get back to that, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 12-year-old, when you were having fun, you were doing all these things, right? And you were just one thing, like, life is interesting, right? The things that we run away from are probably the things that we should be addressing. And so stop running away. Clear out the cobwebs, create a why that's bigger than yourself. Go out, impact people, make it more about impacting people, helping others, than about transactions. So hope everybody got some value from this, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.